Crazy Geezer here from the mystical land known as Delaware. Welcome to episode 5 of the Crazy Geezer podcast. And guess who's back? Look who it is. Oh, and Illsvn 4K has a guest. Who are you?
Marissa, aka Creepy Betty.
Pleasure to meet you,
Miss
Miss
Extraordinaire.
Pleasure to meet you, Miss Creepy Betty. What brings you here tonight?
You asking what brings you here tonight? Talk about cosplay and horror?
Yeah, talking about cosplay and horror and conventions.
Well, speaking
and whatever else you want to talk about. Like, you ask away.
Don't mind if I do. Let's start with the beginning of how we met in person.
All right. So we met. Well, are you talking about me and you, or me and Illsvn? I guess, right?
You too.
Okay. We met at Monster Mania 2024 in March. And you were wearing Eddie Munson. I swear you were wearing the little pale girl.
No, I have that. I have that, but I didn't meet you in that, no.
Okay, so he was cosplaying as Eddie, of course, and I was Wednesday. And he came up to me and said, gushed about how much he loved my Wednesday cosplay. And yeah, we just clicked ever since then. We didn't get together then, though. We were friends for a whole year, and then things just happened naturally the way they always do.
Actually, you're gonna laugh because you know this. It was an episode of Flickr that kind of made us break the ice and cross over, because she got killed in Flickr. She's in an upcoming episode, and we started joking around about how I'm gonna be up in her guts. I'm gonna be rearranging her guts, and
I kept saying, "Oh yeah, you're gonna rearrange my guts for this episode."
And it started out as a joke, and then the messages just got more and more into it, and next thing you know, we're dating.
Talk about a match made in heaven, guys.
Thank you, Ron and Chris.
Ron and Chris creating their own problems.
Well, we'll talk about a match made in heaven.
Yeah, interesting way to meet someone. I mean, we knew each other for a year, and it was actually me. I didn't want to date in the con scene. I had a bad experience, so I was laying low, just being friends with her, getting to know her. So it was nice to not just rush into
jump
it.
right into it. It was nice to just get to know you for a long time, and then things just started
evolved.
Happening. Yeah.
I'm glad I brought you both here on the show together to talk about this, among other things.
Wow, thanks, man. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
It brings hope for hopeless romantic geeks like myself,
Listen, stay hopeless romantic. It works, all right? It takes a while, but it works. It's just, I know how it feels, man. That was there's no, I don't know if that's how you feel, but that whole, man, I'm not getting any younger. What do I do? It just happens when you least expect it, man. I can just leave it at that.
Well, I will say this in all honesty, and I say this because I try to be a professional. It's like when it comes to the talent on any project, completely out bounds, at least for me anyway.
That's a nice shirt, by the way. I just noticed it.
I wonder what this is.
I need to get that shirt.
Yeah, she my friend who's making that game, that's a shirt for those of you curious why he has a shirt of me on. My friend
he's your biggest fan. That's
Chris is a big supporter of mine. Literally, I have video literally supported me on a movie set where we'll talk about that at another point, but
you're not just my friend, you're my little brother.
Yeah, at this point, you're one of the few guys who's actually bigger than me, Chris. And I'm not a tall man at 6'2", but you are larger than me in height and frame.
6'4", 260.
Damn, son, damn. I once hit 240 bulking, and I can only imagine.
No, it's the beer gut, Illsvn, unfortunately.
It's the beer gut.
I'm just 5'1".
You're this big. I remember the first time I met you, I was I'm gonna trip over you one day. Walking through a con and just trip. You're like, oh shit, what's up, Marissa?
Didn't even see you there.
So I'm noticing the shirts, Friday the 13th style. I did play the NES game earlier today to celebrate late.
How was that? How did you like that game? How terrible is that game?
Game Genie.
Oh, you use Game Genie. Yeah, no. As you know, I'm a huge Friday the 13th fan, and that game haunted me as a kid. And I can still hear the music to this day. I can literally I stared at your screen, and when you stare at something and you hear it. As soon as I saw you playing that game, I just heard did it.
You must have saw the link last night I posted from a previous stream.
What?
Yesterday I posted an old stream of Friday the 13th on Nintendo.
Oh, that was your old stream. Oh, I thought that was a new stream.
No.
Yeah, no, that game was something else. But yesterday we were
Yeah, we had a Friday the 13th event yesterday with the horror heads, and it was a great time. We celebrated Jason's birthday,
Mhm.
and we had like a birthday cake and everything, and we did like some skits, and it was just a great time. Yeah,
Yeah, it was really cool.
and they showed the original Friday the 13th and part two.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
so
it was
cool.
at a theater. It was crazy. This people that she's affiliated with, I've been kind of working with them now. I actually got to write the scripts for all the skits yesterday, so it was a lot of fun to see a live audience react to your skit and actually enjoy it. Like when we got to the
Yeah.
part where Jason actually kills someone, the audience fucking went wild.
They
I was like,
loved it. Oh
"Thank
my
God."
god, it was so great.
Was it taken seriously, or was it more like a spoof, like in number 6, where somebody's head gets rammed up against a tree, and then you see a bloody smiley face?
It was
Oh.
more like a spoof, I would say. It was kind of serious.
It was-
Yeah.
It was like a mixture.
The whole idea was, and it's really cool. The lead guy, Jimmy J, found out that Friday the 13th is a special Friday the 13th because this is actually Jason's canonical birthday.
Yes, it is.
Right? So we had a script written for the event, and then he's like, "Do me a favor. Your script was great, but I want to do something incorporating Jason's birthday." So we had a birthday party for Jason at Camp Crystal Lake yesterday, and he got along with all the counselors. Like it was like this whole. I was given this whole thing of Jason's birthday party. He made a truce with the counselors. Now write something for it.
Wait a minute, you were at the actual camp.
No, we weren't at the camp. I'm sorry. We were in a theater doing a skit on a stage.
No,
sorry,
it's cool. Just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, we were at a theater where they had a double feature event, and it was a lot of fun.
It was so insane. Like the crowd there, they were like cheering and like going wild. Like it was like their first time watching like the movies. It was a lot of fun. And then they loved, the script that you wrote. Great reactions from the audience.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yesterday was, like I said, a big Friday the 13th because it was like his birthday, and we're finally getting some movement in the Friday the 13th world with the series coming out, which I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited for that.
Well, wait a minute. Speaking of Friday the 13th, weren't you in a fan film?
I am in an upcoming fan film, which you can still check out, the Friday the 13th Jason's Fury on the Indiegogo. I believe she's going to be in it as well at some point. I was talking with the director about that.
Yeah, some background character, but
yeah,
I'll take it.
Yeah, something fun. But yeah, it's Friday the 13th Jason's Fury Indiegogo. We were supposed to launch the Indiegogo yesterday, but a technical difficulty went down, and that did not happen. But you should still check out Friday the 13th Jason's Fury. I play a character called High Priestess Jim, and while my time in the movie is very short, my importance to causing all of the problems in this film is pretty much like the focal point of my character. Like,
Ooh.
I'm the one who fucks around and everyone else has to find out. Like, so I'm excited for that.
Wow. I think
Yeah.
based off your description, sounds much better than what we got in Jason Goes to Hell, because the explanation we were given is the book of the dead, the Necronomicon from Evil Dead.
Yep, we were supposed to get that. We were supposed to get Freddy versus Jason in 1998, and it never happened.
Well, we did 2003. We were supposed to have Ash added to the mix, but it never happened.
Actually, I should tell you, this fan film takes place after Jason Goes to Hell.
Oh, good.
Yeah. That was a rough one. Did you ever see Jason Goes to Hell?
I did. I love Jason Goes to Hell. I liked it. I liked it for like the entertaining purpose.
Yeah, it was definitely It was definitely shut off your brain, like, to a new degree.
It was fun. I
Yeah.
mean, I get the hate for it, but I also thought it was fun. I really love Freddy versus Jason though. That's like my guilty pleasure movie. Like we definitely got to watch that at some
We'll watch
point.
it. Oh, yeah, we'll have
I
fun.
watched it like so many times. It's so good.
The only thing missing was commentary from Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler during the fight
Oh my
scenes.
god. That would have been great if they had the wrestling announcers do that. That would have been, someone needs to dub that. I bet it's out there somewhere. I bet someone has dubbed in.
Jimmy should dub it.
Yeah, we should have Jimmy, the guy that runs Horror 365, the guy that runs
You and Jimmy should dub it.
yeah. We found out yesterday on stage. Me and this Jimmy J character have quite some personalities. That he's a very loud, boisterous pro wrestling announcer type of guy, and I'm a loud, boisterous kind of like like rock starish kind of guy. And it's just
Yeah.
like it was our first time on stage interacting, and it's like
They were both insane. Like they were just improving, and I'm standing there like I can't do this. Like I can't do what they're doing. I need like a legit script to like read
just
from.
stand there and look pretty.
I was freaking out because he wrote me like 3 lines. Like no, it was more. It was less than that. It was like 2 lines, and I was like, I can't memorize this.
But that's how it starts, you know. You figure something
Yeah.
out. But yeah,
Yeah, no,
man.
I did good, but you and Jimmy like were
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with that, you know. And so I gotta ask, Chris, what's your favorite Friday the 13th?
yeah.
Jason Takes Manhattan.
Ooh,
Ooh.
I like that one too. Part 8.
I
Yeah.
talked to Bobby Caro, who wrote the who composed the music for Swine and Dine among a few other films,
Yeah, he's
and
actually doing it for the Jason fan film too. But
that
yeah,
that's correct. I know because he posts it like crazy, like you do, and Marissa as well,
yeah.
and kind, and it's all good. But he told me that like he has a theory about number 8, where you see after the acid wash in the sewer
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that that's not Jason, kid Jason. That's just an illusion. I'm like, no, that's Jason.
No, that's totally
Yeah.
Jason. I always thought that was funny because that whole film, only one part of it was actually filmed in New York, and that's the part where he kicks over the radio in Times Square.
Uh,
The
You're
rest of
dead
it was
meat
filmed in
slime bag.
Chicago.
Lifts the mask. It's cool, man. It's cool.
Kane actually talked about Kane likes to tell a story from that movie that I always think is really cool. Like, you know, he was standing in the middle of Times Square as Jason, and he said it was like a pinnacle like moment of his life. He's like, I am standing in the middle of Times Square as a horror icon. And he's like, and I remember I just turned my head for a second to look to the crowd, you know, and they just lit up. And he's like, yeah, that's the coolest thing I've ever done in my life.
He told me that story in person when I met him, and he signed both my NES and PS4 copies of Friday the 13th. And then after the photo op, he gives me a Ric Flair chop saying, nice, good work, kid.
I've only met Kane once, and I was standing in line with a friend, and it was my friend Jess, and she was like filling out this thing, and she wrote like, "Can you write it out to like Dick Lover 28 or something?" It's somebody who watches her stream, and Kane is just looking at me like, "Are you with this girl?" I was like, "She's my friend, but no, I'm not with her like that." And he's just like, "All right, good, because you shouldn't be with a girl that's writing things like to Dick Rider or whatever." It was he's a funny fucking guy, like he
Yeah.
really is. I
Doesn't
love him.
surprise me.
I met Ken Kersinger, who was Jason in Freddy vs. Jason, and I met CJ Graham. CJ
Ooh.
Graham. Yeah,
Number
CJ Graham.
6.
Yeah, he was so nice. Like one of the most like humble guys ever. And I took a picture with him and he didn't even charge me. And he was just like, I'm so thankful that like, fans still like line up to come see me. And I was like, oh my God, that's like the most humble thing
Aw.
ever.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of people out there that like you got to figure it's like for these guys that were like Jason in one film, it's a lot like well, yeah, it was a fun thing to do that one time. They're completely unaware that they've like etched themselves into like this iconic thing, and it's
Yeah.
crazy how many guys like really still are just like you said blown away by the fact they're like
Yeah.
you guys still care about me like
It's like
Yes.
when they sign up for these movies, it's like you don't think that you're going to be like known like that. And then, like, 20, 30 years later, like people are meeting you at these cons and you're just like, wow.
Life's
yeah
full of surprises.
yeah man life is full of surprises like that. You just never know what the role is going to land you. It's always something interesting. Hey, speaking of roles, you got anything coming up? You working behind the scenes on anything? I know you're a big behind the scenes man. You got anything coming up for yourself or
Just, I mean, outside of Crazy Geezer, no. Not yet,
no? So you're
anyway.
just focusing on your own stuff. That's
Well, wait,
important,
I
man.
was working on First State of Fear. Should we talk about that? Because I don't want to.
You know what? Right now, let's let that one be an overture talk thing that we don't need to do because we're all up in the air about that. We don't know, but our fingers just cross your fingers for it. All right,
Of
just
course,
cross
of
your fingers.
course.
But yeah, no, I definitely was I know that on Swine and Dine you were a pivotal guy for me. You're the reason why I could like stay balanced up in the air and stuff like that. But behind the scenes, I got to tell you guys, Chris is not afraid to get down and do what needs to be done to make the movie happen. Like he's just goes above and beyond. Like if somebody needs a chair because they're an elderly person and need to sit down, Chris will go and grab that chair without a fucking doubt. Like
Exactly.
you're the man, Chris. That's why we love you.
Love you guys too. And so Swine and Dine, about that real quick. Your mom was there.
Yeah, she was.
She looked so scared. I saw all the color drain from her face when you were trying to perform your scene, and it's like
Oh man.
I was more worried about you, and then someone else could comfort your mother.
Yeah, man. It was one of those things where that's something I've been trying to downplay it because I want to talk about promoting the film more than my one scene in it. But like once that film is out and people have got a chance to like, eat it up and see that scene, I'm going to basically go and make a post about like how fucking wild that whole thing was, and mention you in there and how you made it so that way everybody was safe, because that was like a pivotal moment for all of us. Like that was like some next level shit. Like the whole movie was next level shit, but that kill was like the next level shit for Black Av, being like, all right, how can we outdo ourselves? Because they come out swinging, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And they were just like, this is it. This is like the pinnacle kill. And the ironic thing is, I was the first person to ever die on camera in Black Av on MonsterCon Massacre as well. So
That's fair too. I still need to
Yeah.
see it. That's on YouTube, I believe.
that's a fun one on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's what happened. That you, if you watch that, you see the genesis of Ron and Chris. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
They told me that in the last episode. I don't know if you saw it or not.
I've been meaning to catch it, but I was really glad that you interviewed them, because right now those guys are on fire. Like they even helped her.
Yeah, they're awesome. Like I loved working with them on Flickr. It was great. So much fun.
Yeah. Chris, we got to get you in a Flickr. I just thought about that.
At Flickr?
Yeah, they haven't been too busy on it because they've been busy with everything else, and I still have some episodes to edit for them. But yeah, Flickr will be back. Trust me. We talk about Flickr every so often, me and Ron. But right now, that's not the first thing up in their minds, because they're got so much other shit.
Yeah.
I'm open to anything at this point. But
Yeah,
I try to be respectful and humble and just kind of like let the stars shine, and it's like, if you want me, I'm here. I'm not the type of person to ask first, if that makes sense. I have what's called rogophobia. You ever heard of that?
what's it called? I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Rogophobia. It's ROGOPHOBIA.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
The fear of asking for anything without feeling shamed or humiliated.
Same.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like maybe I
Yeah.
have that too.
like I actually don't ask. Like I have a way of asking. Like when I find out there's a film coming out and I see my friends are getting put into it, I word my message to the director as, hey, I saw your project is up. By chance, are you still casting? Because I feel better asking it like that than be like, hey, do you have any roles available? Like, because again, that fear and shame, like that you're talking about, I know exactly what it is. Even though if I just ask them simply, hey, are you, do you have any roles? They'd be like, oh yeah, they'd say the same exact thing, but it's in your head, you know exactly what I mean.
Yes, I do.
That fiercely independent way of being, because it's like sometimes it's like a response to trauma depending on things, but yeah, I am the same way exactly.
What about you, Marissa?
I think I have that too. Yeah.
Oh God,
Really? You think so?
I'm so scared to like ask for anything. I'm like this timid person.
You're so timid that before we were dating, they had the stream table at Monster Mania.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, oh my God, it's
Oh
Mike
yeah,
Levy.
he was like, come over here and meet these guys, and I was like, oh my God, no, I'm so scared.
Dude, she was like, oh my God, that's Mike Levy. I was like, yeah, it's Mike Levy. And she's like, I'm a fan. And I was like, do you want to meet him? Like it wasn't even like something I had to like do like on a special privilege. It's like he's sitting at the table signing a picture. It wasn't even like I had to like walk up to him at a bar or something like that.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God, I want to meet him, but I don't know. It was just like,
and then I when I did meet him, I was just like, hi, and then I walked away.
But he remembers you all the time now too.
Oh, he does? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was even scared to film the Flickr episode. Like, I was like really nervous.
Yeah,
I don't blame you. So when did you meet Michael Levy? Was it at Atlantic City HorrorCon?
It was Monster Mania.
Excuse me, Monster Mania.
It was Cherry Hill.
No, it was November.
Yeah, it was Cherry Hill. Oh, it was Oaks, PA. Yeah. He's a great guy.
Yes, he is.
I love Mike. I don't like to kiss and tell too much on people I know that are famous, because it makes me feel like some type of way. But the last con, he accidentally knocked a drink out of my mom's.
What was it? I met Michael Levy through Ron. It was all Ron Black. If you're watching this is all your fault.
Yeah, Ron, this is you right here. This is you. Whatever story he's about to tell is you.
I feel like everything is just Ron's fault. Like, we could just blame Ron.
But what happened was that Ron pulled me off the Swine and Dine table where you and I met, Marissa, got our selfie. And he's like, hey, come with me real quick. I want you to meet a couple of people. There's Michael Levy. There's George, his director of photography. And I'm like, what's going on here? Like, oh, I'm introducing you to people. I'm like, what? Are you sure you got the right guy?
That's so cool.
Yeah, man.
And then Michael Levy is like, oh, I haven't added you on Facebook. Yeah, here. Is this you? Yes. Now we're friends.
Yeah, man. He's a great guy. I love Michael to death. He's a solid dude. Like I said, he's always very, very polite to my mother when we're out at cons. Like, he'll make it a point to go up to her and say, hi, how are you?
Good.
Like, one time we went out to a restaurant and we weren't situated near them. And they actually came over to talk to us and been like, oh, I'm so sorry they didn't put us near one another. Just a very stand-up guy. By the way, speaking of Mike Levy, Scream 2 just got announced yesterday.
I was just about to ask you that.
Yep, stream.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Yeah, man, that's my goal. My indie horror actor goal is to one day be a killer in stream.
I hope so
And
too. Is Mark
fingers
Haynes going to
crossed.
be in it, or is that a spoiler that we shouldn't know about?
I don't believe so.
No.
I believe all the players from the last one are dead, except if you watch the film. I'm not going to spoil it. There's that possibility of one of the players being alive,
Okay.
but I'm not going to spoil that. There's there's some cool shit. I don't know anything about it though. Like the thing about me is like for all the people you see me around and see me talking to, I always jokingly say half the reason those people keep me around is because I don't ask questions. Like I
Got
had
it.
no idea Stream 2 was getting announced today. I have actually, believe it or not, and this might piss off Ron, I have not even watched the final version of Swine and Dine, despite having the file on my computer, because I want to see it in the theaters first. Like I don't ever ask for footage. Like I don't ever ask for my footage
Right, man.
when it comes to films. I try to remember like I don't want to cross that line of being like I lost my ability to be a fan
Yeah.
because I needed to see what I looked like on camera, or I needed to see it. Like I want to be like a fan. Like if it wasn't for the fact that Ron sent me that file, I would never be able to watch Swine and Dine, right? So it's like I just treat it like I can't wait to see it in theaters.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying Ron harassed me. He encouraged me to watch the movie, which I did, and I'm not going to say anything. And he asked me, "Do I have any critiques? Do I have any questions?" And I said, "How about a full length?"
Yep, that's in the works too, to my understanding. That should be really cool because what they brought to the table with 30 minutes was really interesting.
I think it should be a full length. It's a very like unique concept. I love it.
Well, my understanding, Ilson and the rest of the cast is welcome back for the full length.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Whenever that comes, I know that won't be for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was interesting to be on a film for 2 days. Like, I can't wait till we get you in some fun stuff like that. Just behind the scenes, running around, seeing the chaos.
I mean, yeah, I'll be like a quick kill or something or whatever if they need me.
Yeah.
Marissa's going to appreciate the special features on the Blu-ray.
There's special features on the Swine and Dine Blu-ray.
I asked if I said, in the last episode, like as a fan, I miss special features. It seems like to be a lost art these days. And both Ron and Chris were like, "No, there's going to be special features."
Yeah, there's plenty of behind the scenes footage, that's for sure. I mean,
cool,
Yep.
like bloopers and stuff.
yeah, I mean, wasn't Alex running around with a camera, like
Yes.
filming and shooting, like
Yes.
when she wasn't doing script supervisor stuff? Yeah.
That
Speaking of which, did you catch the Astral Paranormal stream yesterday? Shout out to Alex and the whole Astral Paranormal stream. Mark, Jess, fucking I can't remember Ron, Chris. I don't know if you got a chance to watch that. I didn't. I was at the event, but I'm really happy to see they got that off the ground.
I was sleeping most of yesterday, so I didn't get an opportunity. Unfortunately, that's the only reason I didn't do anything special yesterday on Friday the 13th. My body was recovering.
Yeah.
We were talking about that earlier in private.
Yeah, if you mind me asking, what's up with the recovery, man? How's that been treating you?
Another setback, unfortunately.
Another setback?
Well, I can tell you why if you want.
Yeah, sure.
Because I feel this is very important for anyone watching. For yourself, Ilsa, Marissa, myself, anyone.
Issue. Yeah.
My problem is that I have a problem saying no. That when it comes to helping people.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah.
I felt that.
Yeah, that's her. She was literally just saying the same thing. But go on, as you were saying.
No, it's all right. But a particular friend, not going to say who it is, but was asking for money, and I was, and then I provided money recently, to prevent this person's water bill from being shut off. It's important to take a shower and stay clean.
Yeah. Okay.
I told this person, it's like, asked me how I was doing. I said, not so hot. I feel like I just spread myself thin out yet again. And it's like, I'm living off college food, like Chef Boyardee and ramen noodles for the next week. So this person said, give me a grocery list. I'll have some groceries delivered. So everything was matched on the grocery list and then some.
Wow.
And I'm like, you didn't have to do that. Because I'm a giver, not a taker, if that makes sense.
No, you really are. You're like one of the most kind. Like just working with you on sets and talking to you in person, and obviously your conveyance of your character when you talk in general. Like
yeah, you're like one of the nicest people I've ever met. So
yeah, we talk about how cool you are anytime we talk about like this podcast coming up. We were like, oh man, we can't wait. We love you, man. You're a great person. And,
yeah, I was excited to be on this.
And you know what, Marissa, this is your first episode, but not your last. Ilson, obviously, not his first, not his last either. So
I'm excited to
so
do more.
Ilson, you got some credits. So you were on episode 1, and now
Yeah.
you're the first repeating guest on my podcast.
It's like when Hulk Hogan got inducted into the Hall of Fame, and then he got inducted again as the NWO member. They hit him with that twice, you know. But yeah, no, I'm really happy to see what you're doing. By the way, I try and catch stuff when I can,
I
and
understand.
you're really having fun with this, and I
I'm
think you'll do
trying, but
great.
I'm trying to go the route where it's like, I feel like it's too soon. My guests can ask me literally anything they want, anything like you guys did just now. So I'm hoping this will set the tone for the podcast going forward, where any guest can ask me anything, and I'll open up like I did with. It was like, "How'd you doing with alcohol?" "Oh, lousy. Had a setback." "Why?" Because I'm too nice for my own good, and I was spreading myself out then, and I'm living off college food until payday.
Well, listen, man, I think it's important that you have some personability because it's not like you have this podcast never seemed like it had a definitive niche. Like it wasn't like when we go on a horror podcast or we go.
Yeah.
This is like free form, you would say, right? Like that's the
Yeah.
vibe you got from this. Like even off
Yeah,
the
like
logo, like
yeah, like you could just talk about anything. It's like
Exactly. And
yeah, man.
you talk about anything you want, and don't talk about anything you don't want to talk about.
it's a
I'm not
safe
the type of
space.
guy where it's like I want to know everything. No, if he's like out of the question, okay, moving on. Because I learned that like if you don't want me to know something, there's probably a reason behind it, and I'm going to treat that seriously.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Boundaries are important, especially as a podcast host. But how have you been liking this? Like, have you been enjoying this? Like, has this been everything you thought it was going to be, and then some, or are you just still like,
I still get stage fright every time I start.
uh,
Oh,
that's okay though. I think we all get stage fright. Didn't you get stage fright
I
yesterday?
always do.
Really,
I'm always nervous or like in front, like talking in front of people. Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
the
yesterday.
don't think it, just do it.
Yeah, she yesterday she was like freaking out before we got on stage,
Oh no,
and all of a sudden we got on stage and everything was like fluid. I was like, "See, I told you."
Yeah. And then once I start talking, I get comfortable. You know.
you didn't. You just needed Ilson or somebody to theoretically hold your hand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why he. That's why I'm glad he did this this my first episode like with me, like because I was a little nervous.
Which was your idea, Marissa?
It was.
that's because that's
And
because
I'm like,
she's
you
the
know
host.
what? I love it. Let's do it.
Yeah, man, we really appreciate that. It's cool. We're trying to. Speaking of like us, we've I don't know. Ever since we got together, we get a lot of support on Instagram and stuff, and we post pictures, and
Everyone loves our pictures.
so we're trying to figure out. Right now, I'm in the middle of purchasing a home, and she's in the middle of starting a new job. But we're really trying to come up with like fun little content ideas. Cute horror, toxic couple stuff. So we're gonna have a lot of fun with that when the time is right. But right now, it's just like the personal life is just so fucking
Uh,
upside down.
and I'm going to say it now. I consider the two of you a power couple.
Well, thank you very much. I
Aw, thank
appreciate that.
you.
Oh, you're welcome.
But yeah,
He's the best.
you're the best.
He's
That's why
the
it's so
best.
cute. Oh, Chris just shows Chris throw up on this floor.
Am I doing
But
this right? Am
yeah,
I
there
doing
you
this
go.
right?
Yeah. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. But yeah, no, we want to have fun with it. It's something that just makes sense. We went to she took me to a modeling event recently that she attended before, where people take pictures of you and you network with photographers and stuff. And we took some pictures and it looks really cool. We can't wait to release those. It's just a matter of the fact that we're both so fucking upside down busy right now.
Yeah.
No, I
Even
hear you.
last week, we unfortunately had to push this till this week because last week we had some prior obligations that
Yep.
we forgot about or something.
It was hectic last weekend.
So
Yeah.
thank you for waiting. I appreciate that.
No worries. I needed the rest because I was off and on with alcohol.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. We were talking. That's when you told me last week. But yeah, man, I'm definitely glad you're doing this. You seem like you're having a lot of fun with it. It seems like you're interviewing really cool people. I like that you're just. I like the no structure, and I mean that in a respectful way. Format of it, like it's just
Well,
cool.
I don't know about structure. It's more like just the podcast initially started with you're a wrestling fan, so you understand the term getting the person over.
Right. Putting people over, giving
Yep.
them the rub or whatever.
And I'm putting you over, and then today we're breaking a rule where it's like, well, we're putting each other over.
Hey man, listen, putting each other over is fine. Like you got a lot of devoted talent. Plus, we get to put her over. We get to put everybody over.
I like a win-win
So
situation.
in wrestling, when you're trying to get someone popular, it's called putting them over.
Okay.
So
I don't know anything about wrestling.
so like,
You will.
for example, Like, yeah, it's like putting someone over is like, all right, we're gonna do something. Like my skits were written to put Jimmy J over. Like my skits were written for Jimmy J to look like the best. So that's like putting someone over. That would be
Or
an example of someone over.
or like if Ilson and I were in a wrestling match and Ilson wins, I'm putting him over.
Yeah, that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
That's the best way.
Okay, I know
Yeah.
like some things about wrestling, but yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Don't worry,
I'm
Ilson,
telling you.
you got a lot of catching up to do. Ilson will give you the clip notes. You'll be fine.
Don't worry, I'll be obsessively explaining Hulk Hogan's greatest year of 1984 to you before you know it. Okay, like, but what we didn't know is he was holding people down in the back. Like,
That's why, unfortunately, Hulk Hogan's no
Yeah,
longer in
I
my
agree.
Mount Rushmore.
Hulk Hogan's not on your Mount Rushmore.
Not after what I saw on Raw on Netflix.
Oh yeah, no, that's
He got booed out of the damn building for promoting his beer. It's like we don't care.
like we never. I don't think she knows this, but Hulk Hogan has lost all of his belovedness because someone caught him on camera using the N word to
Yes.
describe men that were
Oh.
trying to date his daughter, and and every time he comes back, remember Hulk Hogan was like the guy who like changed wrestling. Hulk Hogan is why pro wrestling is what it is today, right?
Yeah.
He comes out and gets booed at wrestling events. It used to be like he would come out and the world couldn't hear anything because the erupting audience. He got caught saying the N-word, and every time they try and bring him back, he just gets booed off the stage.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as they should.
Yeah, man, it was wild. I mean, that's fucked up. Like, there's no coming back from that. You can't even like dance around that. He was caught on camera
No, yeah.
saying the N-word, and he was saying it about dudes who might try and date his daughter. It was like
That's- yeah.
it was just like it wasn't just the N-word. It was the placement of it in the sense of like degrading people because they can't date your daughter. Like that's how much less you think of them. It's yeah.
And I got a big
Sure,
problem with that because I believe everyone should treat each other equally.
you totally should. You know, like I don't know. Jim Cornette said it best. Like Hulk Hogan, your name might be you might be a household name, but so is trash, and it stinks when it gets old too. And I was like, oh.
Damn.
You just quoted Jim Cornette. That's awesome. I love that guy.
Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette's one of my favorite people of the world. I have gotten so many enlightening things from Jim Cornette, and it's weird because he's a Southern guy.
Yeah,
like
Kentucky.
against like Republican nature. Not to get into politics, but
Right.
He's so the polar opposite of what you expect when you hear that thick Tennessee or Kentucky accent on him.
The motto of his podcast, at least it was at the time, was "Come for the wrestler, but stay for the politics." And I'm like, I'll don't mind if I do.
No, Chris, I got to ask you now because I'm thinking about horror now. Who's your favorite slasher?
Freddy Krueger.
Freddy Krueger. All right,
Yes.
excellent choice.
Nice.
Excellent choice.
My favorite of his movies is number 6, Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare, which is technically I just call it Nightmare 6.
Really? She loves the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. How did you like that?
Hated it.
Everyone hates it except me, clearly.
But wait, I will be fair. The production was great. The cinematography was good. Jackie Earl Haley was an excellent excellent.
Jackie Earl Haley was amazing as Freddy. I really
He
enjoyed
was.
him.
He was great. Here's what killed it for me: the origin story.
You didn't like the origin story?
No, I didn't, because in the original Nightmare on Elm Street series, Freddy he doesn't just mess with the kids. I'll say that. I don't want to get demonetized.
You don't want to use the M word, but yeah.
Thank you. Also kills them.
I know. Yeah, a lot of people were pissed off about that, but I mean, I thought it was like implied in the originals that he did
Very
that.
subtly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, my point was that in the original, Freddy killed the kids. In the remake, he didn't. They lived.
The kids?
Yes.
The actual kid? Oh, you mean like the kids from way back in the day? You mean like the flashback kids, right?
I'm talking about in the remake.
Yeah.
Oh, like the parents?
No, not the parents. I'm talking about the kids that he messed with.
Didn't he kill them all?
No.
No, he
didn't.
No, he was actually like a child killer, like in the original. This one is just implied. He didn't actually kill any kids.
Right, exactly, and that disappointed me.
Okay, I get what you mean.
Like he didn't kill any kids at all.
He
Right.
just like did, what he did.
Yeah.
He diddled the diddler.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're gonna leave that alone. But
I liked it after watching it with her again. I liked it, but I think it was just the pacing of it and the way the 2010s horror movies were paced was very much so not my style.
I
all.
will say though,
But
I was glad that Jackie Earl Haley was cast as Freddy for one, other than the fact that it was for the remake, but also, Ilson, you should know this. There's a video game called The Evil Within,
yes, I have heard of this game, but I haven't played it.
and Jackie Earl Haley plays the main villain, which is basically the game is basically Resident Evil meets Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay, now I need to check this out.
Uh,
What
Right,
the
right.
and
heck?
of course,
That's
the original Resident Evil creator Shinji Mikami created and directed the game.
I love how these characters, these directors are going off and doing their own things and making their own games since the dawn of time. It's
Yeah.
fantastic. But yeah,
but I really, yeah, I don't know. Everyone hates the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. I'm like probably one of the only people who liked it.
I
I
will
like a
knock
lot
you.
of remakes, to be honest. I loved the Friday the 13th remake, 2009.
that was good though. That was actually
That was
really
decent,
good.
yes.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
I loved like that Rob Zombie's Halloween. I loved what else do I love? The Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. I love
Yep.
that.
I
Yeah, that was
concur.
good.
Yeah.
I don't recall that one getting a lot of hate, but I'm assuming it did if you liked it.
Oh,
So,
speaking of
Some
which,
people didn't like it. I don't
you're
know.
you collect NECA action figures or NECA action figures.
some of them, yeah, just like oddball ones. Oh wow! All
Oh,
right, cool,
Wait,
very cool.
that's beautiful.
I am such a big like Texas Chainsaw Massacre is probably in my top 5 horror movies. I just don't know where to rank it because that's something that even when you watch it to this day, it actually aged wonderfully.
It did.
aged very well.
I can't watch that movie and eat Italian at the same time. I'm sorry.
You can't watch that food and what?
I can't watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre and eat Italian.
No, you
It's-
can't. No, you can't.
So just 35 at Walgreens.
Yeah, there you go. Oh wow, they had that Walgreens.
Yes.
Horror. Like I just I like Texas Chainsaw Massacre because he was just such a big bastard. Like he was fucking ginormous. Like that actor was completely out
he
of
was
it.
huge in the remake too.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. Like he was like a monster in the remake.
And they pack on a couple pounds and then they wear those heavy ass denim outfits that really make them explode in size. And it's like holy shit. But yeah, I just always like the rawness of it. Let me ask you, do you know the story about the mafia and Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
No.
All right, so the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the reason why it was allowed to do what it did is because somehow, some way, the mafia funded that movie.
What?
But they were using it as a way to wash money. And every day, the director or someone on set said every day they would call up and instead of asking us how the movie was going or asking us what we can send them to show the footage that we've done, all they did was ever ask us how much we spent that day. And we found out that if we said we spent $10K that day, they would write in the books they spent $50K and they would wash $40,000. Wow. And that's why Texas Chainsaw Massacre is such a big hit because nobody cared what they were doing because it was just a money laundering scheme for the mafia. And they never once asked for a cut. They never like, I'm not going to lie. That movie probably went through the least amount of production changes in the history of film because they just didn't care. They're like, yeah, whatever. Just as long as you're spending money and it gets the R sticker from the NPAA rating, we don't give a fuck. Just tell us how much you spent today.
I didn't
So-
know that until you
so-
told me that.
So Toby Hooper had free reign directing, and was was he aware of this? He had to have been.
Yeah, no, they were all aware that something was happening, but I mean, we're friends with filmmakers. Listen, do you think any of our filmmaker friends would argue if like somebody with like a last name that had a bunch of T's and I's and E's in it said, I'll fund your film for whatever you want, just, tell me, like, think about it. Our friends would take that without a doubt. They would be like, yeah, whatever, man. Because it's not like he signed up for something. He was just part of a scheme. It wasn't like he
Yeah.
loaned money from them. He was just part of a scheme. And they're like, oh, you want to make a movie? They're like, well, we want to wash some money. So, but yeah, he definitely knew. He had some idea, but nobody really knew the depth of like what they were doing 100% until after the fact. Because look at Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, completely different animal.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. And you know what? To our friends who are filmmakers and content creators, writers, producers, actors, if you're getting extra money like that, I do not want to know about it. I don't need anyone knocking on my door.
Just imagine, like, do you want to hear about the storyline? No, we want to hear how much you spent today. How much was that fucking light that you knocked over? Like,
Oh,
you want
God.
to keep all your teeth. You won't tell me anything except what I need to know. Okay? Like, I don't care about reshoots. I don't care about it being 101 degrees and the guy in the mask keeps passing out. How much did we spend on his ambulance ride?
Yeah, imagine this: a double bucket of water on someone who's just sweating bullets, and he'll probably be completely dry within an hour.
Yeah, that's supposedly how bad it was out there.
Oh
They
my
were
god!
weren't they literally in Texas? And that was
that movie looked sweaty.
that
Like...
movie that movie's opening scene makes me want to take a shower.
It's like in your mind, it's like turn up the air and put a couple of oscillating fans blowing your way.
Yeah, seriously, the whole
It
film
looks dirty too. Like they just looked like they got like dirty.
Yeah, no, they got absolutely roughed up because there was no. That was making a horror movie in the 70s when there was no like regulations or anything like that. They were just like, yeah, I guess just don't get hurt.
Yeah, I'm very surprised that Rob Zombie didn't remake Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I am a little bit too. Come to think of it.
Yeah, I agree with you. You're the first person I ever heard say that.
That's right up his alley. I'm like, oh my god, he would have been perfect to do a Texas
Yes.
Chainsaw Massacre remake.
It's like, Sherry Zombie could have been in it and could have been one of the victims or could have been in on it the whole time. I mean, the script almost writes itself.
Yeah, it was really
Yeah.
interesting. And, I noticed when I was on a film set once, they talked about how they're shooting this film Rob Zombie style. And I asked the camera guy, I was like, what does Rob Zombie style mean? I don't understand. He's like extreme close-ups of everything. Everything's usually up close. There isn't a lot of wide shots. And I thought about it, and I was like, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was shot like a Rob Zombie movie.
It really was.
Yep.
Lots
Very
of close-
gritty too. Very
Yeah.
gritty,
Yes.
like
Lots of close-ups. The only wide shots are like establishing shots of like the van when it's driving to show you how desolate the road is, or the house to show you how desolate it is. Otherwise, Texas Chainsaw Massacre was like, I can see that being Rob Zombie's biggest inspiration at this point.
very like backwoodsy, like trashy. Like I'm just like that would have been perfect for him.
I wonder if Rob Zombie borrowed ideas from Texas Chainsaw for House of a Thousand Corpses.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely, he did. Yes,
Thought
it
so.
was very inspired.
It can't be a coincidence.
It definitely. I mean, if you want my opinion, House of a Thousand Corpses is just Texas Chainsaw Massacre with punchlines.
Yes.
Like it's about a fucked up family
who
doing-
like kidnaps people and like
Yeah.
tortures them and kills them. Yeah.
And you have the crazy ranting. Like, you remember the guy that they picked up? It's just everything's more exaggerated. Like the crazy ranting guy that they picked up in the beginning, who's related to the family. I mean, isn't that just the Otis? Like Otis has like coherency and has like
Yeah.
actual like development of speech skills. I definitely can see it being a big deal because the whole twisted family thing. I mean, that started with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You can't put
That no wonder Marissa said, "Why didn't Rob Zombie remake Texas Chainsaw?" It makes perfect sense now. Now that I think of it, that
right?
kind of blows my mind.
Technically, he did.
I guess you could say he made his own interpretation of it. I definitely love that film though. That's definitely my top 5. And have you ever seen 31? The other Rob Zombie film, 31.
What's it called?
Really, 31. It takes place on Halloween. It's a Rob Zombie film. It's really good. I just showed it to her a couple.
Yeah, he had me watch it because I never saw it either. And
Wait, 31. Does that take place in Salem, Massachusetts?
No, that's Lords of Salem.
Thank you.
Yeah. 31 is about 31. I'll give you a quick rundown. A bunch of people get put into a game where there's a bunch of killers loose in the thing. It's kind of, I guess you could say it's kind of like Stream.
I was about to say that. Wait, hold on a second.
But it's a Rob Zombie. Let me put it this way: Rob Zombie's version of Stream before Stream came out and takes place on Halloween, and it's really good. Like if there's one film that's like one of my favorites, that's probably my favorite Rob Zombie film is 31.
Again, very backwoodsy, like trashy.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to check it out then. No question about
it's
it.
fantastic. The main killer, there's multiple killers in it, and it's a bunch of people trying to survive against a bunch of killers. And I want to say I almost feel like it reminds me of Stream more than I thought, and I didn't make that connection until now. But yeah, you should check it out. It's gritty as fuck.
Well, speaking of horror movies, are you a fan of Scary Movie?
Yes, I love the Scary Movie.
It's coming back.
Scary Movie in theaters. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And Keenan Ivory Wayans was set to direct.
Yeah, man. After they stole that from him, do you know that story?
That broke my heart.
Yeah, I'll Chris, you want to tell that story about how Scary Movie got stolen from the Wayans brothers?
No, right? Yeah, I'd rather you tell the story, please.
All right. So how it works is Scary Movie was made to be a parody of horror movies, right?
Yeah.
And the studio really didn't believe in it, and it was actually like the Wayans brothers, like Keenan Ivory Wayans. You remember In Living Color, the Wayans brothers?
Yeah.
So they basically made like a hit out of nothing, and what they forgot to do was they forgot to basically sign exclusivity rights. So even though the idea came from the Wayans brothers, when they put it out through the movie theater gained the property rights to it. So
That sucks.
when the third one came out and they said, sorry, you're not directing it, Keenan couldn't do anything.
I didn't know that.
Yep. And that's why you got to really read that fine print, because Keenan Ivory
Wow.
Wayans was, Keenan Ivory Wayans, he was nobody's joke, man. He was a businessman to the core. For him to get that wool pulled over his eyes really shows you that you can think you know it all and still fuck it up.
I mean, yeah, I feel like he got pulled away from In Living Color 2 over time as well. Because that show only lasted like 5 seasons.
Yeah, that show was one of my favorite sketch comedy shows ever. I think that's probably where and I say this with, like, my racial awareness came from watching In Living Color as a kid and seeing the whitey jokes and the stuff like that, to be like, oh, I have, like, whether or not you want to say it's real, I have a privilege. I understand that now. I understand why I'm where I'm at. This is like 8-9-year-old me. Did you ever watch In Living Color or no?
Yeah.
With Fire Marshal Bill?
Yeah, Jim Carrey.
The one thing we did not get, I was hoping for as a kid, was Fire Marshal Bill versus Homie the Clown.
Oh my God, Homie the Clown versus Fire Marshal Bill.
That would be epic.
Homie the Clown. I mean, I remember being in 4th grade running around with a pantyhose and like paper stuff and batting people on the head saying, "Homie, don't play that." Like,
Homie, don't play that.
Oh my God. How do you feel right now? Totally dissed, homie. Well, dignity is the opposite of what you're feeling now. Dignity is the opposite of that. I was like, oh my God, dude. Yeah, that was some shit back in the day. I could never get over how much I love that show.
Yeah, back to Scary Movie. So we're gonna get another Scream movie. I think number 7.
Yep, she's a huge Scream fan. That's her like
I'm
jam.
a huge Scream
You're gonna hate me, Marissa, but every time I think of Ghostface, I think, "What's up?"
And that's just the power of Scary Movie, all right?
Exactly.
I think Scary Movie is more popular than Scream. No, I'm kidding. I mean,
Absolutely not. They complement each other. Equal pairing.
Yeah, because like Scream is just a parody of a horror movie while simultaneously being a horror movie. So.
Yeah, Scream is a love letter to horror movies.
It is.
Scary Movie somehow was like, well, what if we actually made it a spoof instead of like implying that it's a spoof artistically? And that's the one thing I love about it. Yeah, I'm excited for that. The big news is they're going to have Art the Clown in that.
What?
The new Scary Movie.
Oh, I thought you meant in Scream.
No,
I was like, wait, what?
No, they're gonna in the new Scary Movie. They've pretty much all but confirmed that Art the Clown is going to be in it.
Oh, that's so cool.
I know in Scream 7, Neve Campbell is coming back as Sydney.
Yeah, I'm excited for that too.
It's like they finally paid her what she's entitled, and it's like she I take that back. She's not entitled. She earned her way up. Pay the woman.
Yeah, pretty much like a lot of the OG cast, they're going to be back. Like Matthew Lillard.
Yeah.
I think Skeet Ulrich got signed on there too. Again.
Oh, Matthew Lillard. I want to talk about him. So, have you guys seen the Five Nights at Freddy movie yet?
No.
I saw it. I loved it.
Yeah.
But I never played the game, so I had no idea. Like,
ask Illsvn. He'll introduce you.
I know.
Yeah, I've never played Five Nights at Freddy. I missed that entirely.
That's more of like isn't that like a recent thing? Isn't it new? Or
No,
not
no.
new, but like
it's not new, but it's more of like you're trapped in a Chuck E. Cheese with robots that come up
Yes.
and try and kill you at night.
yeah. I liked the movie a lot. Matthew Lillard did great, and so I'm excited that him and Skeet Ulrich are gonna be in the second.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the fact that Matthew Lillard is the most unsung hero of the 90s.
He is.
Especially in horror movies.
He was great in horror movies, but let's talk about him.
Michelle Gellar too.
Well, what about like Salt Lake City Punk? Like that was a movie that showed us Matthew Lillard can do something really amazing. Like he was the star of that movie, and I thought that was really going to be like his breakout role of like, oh man, we can trust this guy with the lead role. He's interesting. Never came. But it's okay. He got his flowers. He's gotten his flowers 10 times over. But during his era, I thought he was going to be such a bigger deal because he was the quintessential like good-looking, strange, awkward guy who could still totally be a killer, or Shaggy. You know, like he had the dude had fucking range. Let's be honest. Like
He did. He's
Absolutely.
very versatile.
yeah, he had ultimate range, and he was great.
It,
Remember him
it,
in Hacker? I mean,
it blows my mind. So Matthew Lillard and Freddie Prinze Jr. were in the Scooby Doo movies, the two of them. And here's the thing that blows my mind about Freddie Prinze, other than the fact he's going to be the next "I Know What You Did Last Summer," or as we like to call it, "I Still Know What You Did Last Halloween." Um, he used to work for WWE.
yeah, he was a writer. That was
Yes,
so weird.
yes, and now he's
Freddie
starting his
Prinze
own
Jr. was a
promotion.
writer for WWE. It was really weird, and like he would like his stories about Vince McMahon are crazy. He's like, dude, that guy was fucking nuts.
And now he's talking about running his own company. I'm like, great, do it.
Never such thing as too many pro wrestling companies. I feel like there's just enough people out there that want to make it that you can do it. I mean, we worked with that pro wrestler on First Day to Fear, Gabby. There's pro
Yeah,
wrestling
Gabby
everywhere,
Ortiz.
man. Yeah, man. She was on like Apple TV. Did you know that she was like in
Yeah.
like an Apple TV
Yeah,
series and stuff?
I
like
did.
that? I did not.
I
I like she gets like flown across the country to like do signings and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. There's so many pro wrestlers now versus back in the day. Like there's plenty of room for bigger companies.
Oh, you weren't there, or maybe you were, but we talked about her wrestling career and what direction she wanted to go. I think she wanted to go the direction of being in more movies and do more modeling, as opposed to going out on the road wrestling and getting the crap beat out of you every night when you wrestle.
Yeah.
And she was talking about going to NXT at one point. I'm like, no.
She's wrestled on AEW Dark. But again, this is what I'm saying. This is like how overpopulated in a good way wrestling is, that this person, like, because I wasn't there for that conversation. I just spoke with her because Ron and Chris wanted me to give her a card, and she's like, oh my god, she said the exact same thing. She's like, oh my god, thank god, this wrestling thing really hurts. I wanted to make money in another way, and I wanted to be like, you think we're making money out here, and that's a big misconception. Like,
Exactly.
like pro wrestling, you make money because people paid money to go to an arena and see you. There's some money out there for you in the
Yeah.
indie horror, a little different, That's more of a love of the game thing, and I don't
You
know.
gotta love what you're
Well, I
doing.
can speak for
Yeah.
myself without speaking for anyone else. Whenever I show up on set, my first expectation is don't pay me.
Yeah, I'm usually so grateful to be able to do it. I'm the same way. I'm like, I'm still up and coming. I'm just grateful for the opportunity to be here. Let's talk about pay in the next project if we
Yeah,
get
just
that
do
far.
things for the art.
Yeah.
Or even if it's like, okay, you're gonna pay me, then fine, write me a check. I'll write the check back to you. Just invest it back into the production. That could be like a tax write off or something.
Yeah, you've never really. Well, you've been paid to model before, right? Yeah. Just
No.
no.
Oh wait, no, I did. Yeah, one time.
One time, yeah.
But I don't expect it. Like
No.
I just do my cosplaying and like my modeling just because I love it. It's a passion of mine outside of my, 9 to 5 job.
You got to pay the bills somehow,
Exactly. I mean, I got a full time job too, and just to be clear, that I don't care how popular I get with YouTube or anything else going forward, I will never ever quit my day job. Ever.
No, man, you can't quit your job as a YouTuber until you've hit 30,000 subscribers.
No.
I have heard over the course of many years, and I'm not saying that you should, but over the course of many years, I've heard once you hit 30,000 subscribers, the people are looking for your content so much and you're making so much from it that you have no option but to eventually make this your full-time job and start hiring editors. But that's because you've gotten to that point of just people want it, you like. It's crazy to imagine that these YouTubers are putting out videos nearly every day. Like, can you imagine like having that kind of time to put out a video every day? Like, even if you started putting episodes in the can now and you put 100 episodes away, by the time you put those out, they'll be dated in some way, shape, or it's just incredible to me to see like the hard work that like these paid YouTubers do, because it's like they work for it, baby. Like, let me tell you, every day is a struggle for them. Like,
Well, I mean,
some kind of content.
the real money is now with sponsorships, from what I understand.
as Chris Greiser just holds up a bar of Dove soap, he's just like,
Sponsor me, Dove.
No,
Oh,
more
yeah,
like G Fuel or
yeah.
Doritos.
How can you sponsor something? Because I use a lot of Dove products.
You
So
gotta get them to sponsor.
You know what?
oh.
Let's find out at the same time. Just start making contacts.
Yeah.
Just start reaching out via social media, like, "Hi, I'm so and here's why I'm here," and hope for the best.
Listen, because I love Dove. I'll sponsor them.
I think it's funny though when these content creators get sponsored, because like when you're following like a content creator and you're scrolling through your timeline, these ads are so clever, because like I saw an ad for something and I don't remember what it was, but the ad was two content creators, like one of those content couples,
Yep.
and it wasn't until like halfway through that I realized I was watching a commercial, because I'm so used to scrolling through my timeline and seeing these people, make this content. And I was like, well, there's an actual product in this video. I was like, oh my God, this is a commercial. And I looked down and I was like, this isn't their page. It's the products page.
We should do something like that.
Well, I mean, you got it. That's something that happens with tens of thousands of viewers, but
I think we'll get there.
we just had to cross our fingers. That's all.
Well, here's an idea.
We got to manifest it. Come on.
Yeah, well, we'll be doing sponsorships with Dove alongside Chris before you.
Yeah, speak it into existence.
Well, I'll give you one example. One of my best friends, he surpassed 30,000 subscribers a long time ago, and he did quit YouTube, or quit his day job to do YouTube full time. But then it's like something happened, something changed with the algorithm, and it's like,
yeah, man.
And that's why I'm like, I'm not quitting my day job ever.
No.
Yeah.
I don't care how tired I get. I don't care if I get 6 hours of sleep one night and I sleep the whatever. So there's that, but also sponsorships. My same friend was able to get sponsorships for his videos and was able to create the advertisement on his own, on his terms, with his own script, and it was very entertaining.
Yeah, that's really cool that they kind of give you free range, because
like,
the less money they need to spend. Like imagine now you're a CEO of a company and you have this product that you want to put out, and you're used to spending like a couple $1 million on a commercial, and it's like, no, man, relax. We'll just send the product to these two content creators and they'll shoot it on a $200 cell phone. And that's our new fucking like, could you imagine the cost savings on that commercial? Like not spending millions of dollars, just paying someone millions of dollars to do a bunch of commercials from their house and not need to pay for a production studio, camera, lights, sound. It's insane.
I mean, personally, I prefer that, under my terms, as far as production quality, because I'm a quality whore. Excuse my language. I mean, your name's Illsvn. Your name is Illsvn 4K. Who's more of a quality whore?
I gotta say, it's got to be you, because I haven't done it in forever now. I haven't really, I stepped away from the content thing for now.
Only for now. You're rebranding, and then before you know, you'll be calling yourself Illsvn 8K.
Yeah, there you go.
Rebrand era.
But like, I'm not gonna lie, man. Looking at your because I'm watching you on a 1080p monitor right now. Your camera quality looks so much better than when we first started helping you out with this. Like, I can see like shadows, I can see definition, I can see the folds in your clothes, I can see that you really did step it up. Like that graphics card definitely went all its way for you, huh?
Well, not only that, but also you confirmed that I got the right webcam too, and then another YouTuber friend of mine, his name's Vito Gesualdi. I told him about the webcam, and I told him, I'm worried about the quality, blah blah blah. And first thing he said was, "Have you not paid attention to my videos? Take another look. They're not any better than yours, Chris." Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Also, this is the best you're going to get with a webcam, is what he said, like you said.
Yeah.
And he said, like, if I really want to go above and beyond, which is inevitable, get a video camera, plug it up to the computer. It's a pain in the neck, but it'll work.
Yeah, like
not now, though.
Magic. Yeah, you can get like Black Magics and stuff. What do you use again for your content? You got she has a really simplistic content setup because it's just really good pictures.
Oh, I just use my phone. It's an iPhone 12 and my ring light.
For modeling pictures, you can't really argue because these phone cams are great.
Well, for modeling pictures, I usually get like I used to get photographers for like the professional photos, but for my cosplay photos, I just set up my ring light in my room, posed against my wall with my iPhone 12.
Hey man, as long as you have good light and you're just talking about something you can see on the scroll, like these webcams are. I mean, these cell phone cameras are great.
I mean,
yeah, man.
I mean, look at the quality that you remember those videos from the first State of Fear I sent you and everyone else.
Yeah.
That was from my cell phone. That's a 24 Ultra.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie. Cell phone cameras, even going back, I have a 21 that does 4K 60 frames per second, and like as long as you got good lighting.
The good lighting, yeah.
Yeah, lighting is everything.
Like the ring light that I bought is really good. So
yeah, and we have these two lights here that we're working with. It's all about. It's just as long as you have good lighting, these cameras do pretty well for themselves. But as I was saying, your quality is awesome, man. You went above and beyond. Your audio is always crisp. Your guests always have good audio as well. You're just on your way.
Well,
The one thing
not
I
so
wanted
much the last episode, but that's my fault because I didn't speak up regarding the remember the whole rogophobia thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know, the one thing I want to see you do, which would help you out, if you had title cards for your videos. You know, like you ever seen the title cards? Like go watch your favorite YouTuber and they have a title card on their video and it like has like their logo and like a picture or something. I can see. Do you have that like default profile? Not what's the word I'm looking for? Holy shit.
Are you talking about
Uh,
Adobe Photoshop or something?
no, I'm talking about how when you go on YouTube and you see the video.
It's a thumbnail.
um, Yeah, thumbnail. That's what I
Yeah,
was talking about. Yeah, thumbnails. You would totally benefit if you had like a crazy geezer thumbnail that you just had as like your brand, and then you just swapped in your guests' faces on the background of it. I think that would be really cool.
I'm glad you mentioned that. And here's the thing though. You mentioned Alexander Surface earlier. Shout out to
Yeah, yeah,
her. She's like a sister to me, just like you're my little brother, and
yeah.
Marissa
No,
inevitably
she's
you're gonna
dope.
be my
She's
little
dope.
sister as well. So my point is that she knows how to use Photoshop and how to make thumbnails. In fact, she was here the one time and she helped me with the logo. So
Yeah,
she's going to
yeah.
help me with with the with the thumbnails eventually. Here's my problem going back to my rogophobia. I'm afraid to ask her for anything because I know how busy she is.
She is really busy. We chat rather often, and lately, me and her have been so busy we haven't had a chance to really talk at all. She had a big thing yesterday for that, but she'll totally help you out. One of those things where once you get the template of it, she could probably show you how to just upload your own thing into it because that's a really big part of having a successful YouTube channel. Those because you've seen them for mine, of course. It's what helps build your brand. It's like seeing the logo of the pizza box of the. It's like seeing the logo of the pizzeria on the pizza box that's outside during recycling night. It's the fact you know it's there. You're like
That's
Oh,
right.
of course.
I love that.
Yeah, that's the best way to describe it. They say you need. There's a 13. It's called the 13 place rule. Your brand needs to be seen in 13 places that aren't your webpage before people will start taking it really serious. And that's why I always use the pizza box metaphor because, a pizza box is on the lawn for recycling night, but you know the pizzeria that it's for because you live in that town, right? So that's
Yes.
one place you've seen it, right? But you've seen it everywhere else, magnets, inside of, newspaper clippings, online, social media. But that's exactly what the point of that thumbnail is for you. And that's why I think that's really going to help you out a lot.
Give me about another week or two because there's some stuff I want to talk to you about offline, and
Yeah,
you'll
absolutely.
understand. I don't feel comfortable talk about it, here.
No, yeah, whatever you want to talk about, man. I'm always here for you to give little pointers. I've never had any success with this, but I get the gist of what to do.
I mean, I'm a magnet when it comes to advertising. This should come naturally easy for me with the one exception of the what was it the learning curve.
Yeah, yeah, but once you get past the learning curve, it's just like anything else. I mean, I'm sure the first time you ever took your own selfie modeling pictures, they didn't come out like they do now. You had to like crash course it,
Yeah,
right? Like, oh, this like
practice it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but we'll absolutely help you out with that. If she can't help you out with it, I'll try and figure something out because those are vital.
Wow.
Those are really important.
Something fell.
Yeah, it was a controller.
No one was injured.
No children or animals were injured. But yeah, I'm definitely glad to see you moving forward with this, man. And you've been going like so ridiculously hard with it. Like, I just be looking at like episode 5 already. Holy shit!
Yeah, you've been killing it. You've
You're
been killing
both
it, Chris.
you're both so sweet.
Killing it, Chris. That's the new nickname.
Killing it, Chris.
Killing it, Chris.
I can't wait to hang out with you next time. I don't know what next convention you're gonna be at.
We'll be at
but-
Monster Mania.
Oh, are you gonna be at Monster Mania?
in August?
Is it in August and where?
15th, 17th. Cherry Hill, right?
Cherry Hill
Yeah. Yeah, that was a little rough for you guys last time. I remember that.
next month.
August.
Excuse me, August. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely
Yeah,
stop
yeah.
by, man. Whether it's Friday or Sunday. I remember last time you guys came by on Saturday. It was a fucking zoo. Do you remember that?
you were shooting Flickr and you were trying to get supplies for the
Yeah.
shot.
It was her Flickr, actually, I was running around for.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
so for everyone watching, was it? I was at Monster Mania and Illsvn was running by. I'm like, hey, dude, it's me. Gave me a quick hug, like, dude, I gotta run. I gotta get some props. I gotta run. I'm so sorry. He's like, don't worry about it. Go.
I want you to be aware. The fatigues you saw me in that day, the makeup, the
Yes.
contact.
You
I-
look crazy.
I had to go to a grocery store dressed like that on a Saturday morning. Holy shit. I don't know. It was harder. The stairs people gave me, or the parking I tried to find on a grocery store in a
Don't
city.
feel bad. You know why? You know who else went to the grocery store to pick up props and supplies?
You?
No, Ed Boon, the co-creator of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, no, he absolutely did. You're right. Oh man, yeah, man, it was funny. I had to pick up some chicken cutlets and beef liver, and oh man,
For my guts.
yeah, for your guts. It was an experience, Chris. It was a reminder that you got to go above and beyond for the art.
I got so beat up from that episode.
Yeah, you had black and blues all over the place.
What?
My kill was a little intense.
Yeah, like we like dragged her across the floor, and we didn't have a scuff pad, so she got a little bit of rug burn.
Oh,
She
dude.
got bruised up from like falling down because we told her to fall while she was running. It was definitely a Black Hat Films day, that's for sure.
My skin was stained from the fake blood.
Were you okay after a few days, though? I'm just curious.
Did it come out after a few days? You said.
No, I'm asking you, were you okay physically after a few days?
Oh yeah, I was fine. I was like, listen, I got battle scars. It was worth it.
Yeah, man, she was a trooper through and through.
Yeah, I loved it. I love that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, man. I definitely.
I was like, I do my own stunts. Hire me.
That's right. You heard it. You heard it. And so does Illsvn. They both do their own stunts.
Yes, I try to do my own stunts when I can.
The best was when you we were like shooting that. Am I allowed to talk about it?
Yeah.
When we were practicing, you throw me up against the wall, and like Chris had you like do it over and over again. He's like, "Wait, that wasn't good enough. We gotta shoot it again."
It was like
he just kept throwing me against the wall.
And I was like, I don't know who's more turned on here, but okay.
I was like, I'm really enjoying this. I was like, yeah.
Just keep in mind, like the week before we filmed Flickr, we decided we kind of wanted to start messing around. So we're filming this Flickr episode.
Oh God.
And nobody knows that we're seeing each other. Like Chris and Ron are completely unaware. Nobody. No, I'm talking. The only person who knows is my mom, who finds out that weekend because she walks in and sees me and her chilling in the hotel room, and she's like, "Oh, all right."
So I didn't know there was a party in here. But okay.
I got a question. I got a question about your mom, real quick. I sent her a friend request on Facebook, and hopefully she was gonna accept, so I could just personally thank her for taking care of you.
Oh, dude, you know what? Let me see, because she just listen. My mom. Sorry, mom, if you're watching this. My mom isn't the most technologically savvy individual. She just created a second Facebook account for her acting career. So you might be sitting in purgatory on an account that isn't signed in. But either way,
maybe she doesn't like check her request or.
No, but trust me, she'll accept your request totally. She's probably gonna feel really bad when I tell her, so don't worry about it. But my mom adores you, brother. I want you to know that my mother.
Well, again, I want to personally thank her for taking care of you because you turned out so well.
Well, thank you very much. That's
no,
really
I'm serious
awesome.
because are we allowed to talk about this? Autism.
Yeah, we're allowed to talk about autism.
Okay, so you have autism.
Yes, I have the tism. That's how I got this one. I rizzed him with the tism.
I think it's really cute.
I think it's really cute. You know, you have different levels of autism. You have functional autism. You know, like I remember me and you were talking about that quite a bit.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. It's interesting to find out that like, oh, this whole time I wasn't the weird fuck up that people said I was. I was just wired differently. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, put you in that place of like, damn. I really do wish that people today, like people back when we were in school, had a little bit more understanding about it, so that way it wouldn't be so
absolutely
easy to pick on. But hey, what are you gonna do? It's not the end of the world.
I mean, not my generation, not so much, but that doesn't bother me. What's important is that, you know, we learn from it and move forward. That's why I'm glad that in your case, your mother took care of you and she's still your biggest supporter. And I'm very thankful.
Yeah, I'm very thankful for that too, because you know what? I started doing this at 18 years old, and I'm 39 now, and not once has my mother ever said to me, and I mean not once ever has she ever said to me, do you think it's time to maybe not do this anymore, or do you think you're getting too old for it? Do you think has never been followed by a question that made me question if I should still keep pursuing this. It's always just been go for it, like whatever, man. Like,
I love that. Your mom is the best.
Yeah, that's why I'm happy to get her in films when I can.
And now you understand why I want to personally thank her.
No, I really appreciate that. You know, my mom's we have our ups and downs, but she definitely did a good job on raising me, so I got to give her props there.
100%.
I have my words with her, you know, because she's my mom. But yeah, I'm actually about to, for the first time in my whole life, actually, speaking of my mom, I'm about to live at a different address than my mother, because even though I moved out into my own place when I was 23, the place I moved into was the apartment that my mother built into the house that she had bought at the time when the tenant moved out. So even though I lived, like, I couldn't get to her without going out my front door and in her door. There was no way for her to get in my apartment. I've never not lived at the same address as my mom before, and I'm about to. I'm living with her right now. I lived with her for the last 2 years after we sold that house I told you about. But in like less at the end of the month, I'm gonna live in my own place. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, my mom has always been there. She's always been cool, and we've had our moments, that's for sure.
Sure.
But she's a mom. That's what's supposed to happen.
Exactly. Um, the reason why I brought up autism, other than the fact that your mother took excellent care of you, again, I can't say that enough times. Um, I told you that I might have autism, which I will get tested by the end of the year. Was
Yeah, yeah, you were
for
telling me
one
about that.
movie particularly. It's called The Accountant with Ben Affleck because his character is autistic.
Yeah, I think I've actually seen clips of this movie. He like anytime they show a clip of this guy, he just seems to know everything, right? Like he immediately knows someone's laundering, someone's doing this, someone's doing that, right? Is this
Yeah,
is
but
this that movie?
I mean that was at the time, but his beginnings was like certain things that I went through. Because he
Yeah,
was
man.
having a temper tantrum and he's doing the Solomon Grundy born on a Monday thing.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Remember the scene? It was a flashback scene when he was a kid and he was breaking things. And
Oh wait, I know. I've only seen clips of it on the internet. I haven't seen this movie altogether. I
so,
just know this because I've never seen the movie outright. I've only seen a clip or two of it,
got it.
and I know this because he's talking about like pizzas at one point or something like that. Is it that movie where he's talking, explaining to a guy like you didn't make enough money to sell all these pizzas, you're laundering the money and cooking the books or something like that?
Maybe it might have been the second movie.
Oh, okay. Oh, there's two of them. Okay,
There is now, yeah. And they're both available on Prime for free if you
okay,
have a
yeah.
subscription.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. But yeah, when you that first identification that you when you see something like that, it's almost liberating. And you're like, I'm not the only
See?
one. Like I'm not the only one.
It's like, well, I'm crazy, but not, but, not, it's not as crazy as you thought you were.
Yeah, no, I'm crazy with a purpose. She used to think she was a lion when she was a kid, so
I think I have something wrong with me. I don't know what's wrong with me, but there's some screws loose up in there.
that's why I love you.
I mean, myself, Illsvn, everyone else around you, I'm sure will accept you exactly the way you are, Marissa. I mean, if you want to get
Oh yeah.
tested, then that's your decision.
Yeah.
And I'm
Thank
just
you,
saying,
though.
from my perspective, I'm going to get tested. And everyone's like, well, you're 46 years old. Why get tested? Well, the answer is simple: closure, answers.
Yeah, man, closure. That's a wonderful thing to like know. I mean, like especially because by the way, you don't look 46.
Thank you.
Like at
Yeah.
all.
No, you don't. You look great.
I thought you were a little bit younger than me because I'm
No,
39 and I figured you just had good
I
aging
told you
genetics,
were
but
my little brother for a reason because now
yeah,
you know
yeah, I'm
why.
not gonna lie. I'm definitely little brother status there.
Yes. But when
But
I
yeah,
say
no,
little brother, I mean, and the fact that I learn from you, but also protect you and take care of you if I need to.
you kept me safe on that movie set, so I can't appreciate that enough.
Well,
But yeah, you're
that's just the one
definitely a solid
example, though.
dude. You look like again, you look like you were more in like your 30s. Like if you had told me you were like 33, 35, I would have believed it. Like I would have
Mm.
never questioned it either.
No, 46.
I had no up until right now, I had no idea you were actually older than me. Like,
I told you that, but I guess
you
you
probably
don't know.
did, and my autistic ass
We're
forgot.
all aging very well. I don't know what we're doing, but we're doing something right.
Millennials, right? Millennials.
Yeah.
Us millennials.
My mom's aged well too, as well as my older brother. We all three of us have.
Yeah, man. When you get those good aging genetics, I jokingly call them vampire genetics. You always win.
I'd rather be a werewolf personally.
Your mom looks like she aged pretty well.
My
Yeah,
mom is very pretty. Yeah. Yeah. She
yeah,
was a smoke show when she was younger. I
yeah.
was like, dang. Yeah. My mom was like a model.
So,
Following in her
do
footsteps.
you think smoking, would or not smoking would contribute to the fact that we look better than we're supposed to?
Smoking
Cigarettes.
weed?
No,
Oh, you mean
cigarettes.
smoking? Oh, yeah. They say smoking
Yeah.
cigarettes ages you, right?
Smoking cigarettes ages you, and if you do anything else like drinking, the alcohol, drugs, yeah.
Yeah, man. I have friends. I lived a party life when I was a teenager, so I have friends who still like smoke to this day. And I will say, some of them look all right, but a lot of them that were still smoking and drinking, oh yeah, they're not doing the greatest. But then the vaping thing came out, so a lot of my friends that were smokers ended up as vapors.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's because honestly, if I had to pick why millennials age so well, I think it's because we knew everything we weren't supposed to do in our teenage years because the internet told us, hey, like we didn't know that. Like you got to remember, as kids, we didn't know McDonald's wasn't real food until we got the internet, right?
That's
Like
true.
that's the way I view it. Like internet taught us, like, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. This professional says this. Meanwhile, the generation after us is aging really fast, and I don't know why.
Yeah, it's very weird. Like they all look like so much older than they are, and then millennials are like, yeah, we're like aging gracefully.
Well. Speaking of aging gracefully, here's a fun fact. I'm a granduncle or great uncle, whatever you want to call it.
Ooh,
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
congrats.
my older brother is a grandfather. It makes me a great uncle, or I say grand uncle.
Wow. Holy shit, Chris! I had no idea. Again, you just look really great. I think it's the fact that we take care of ourselves though. Like, did you ever smoke or drink like cigarettes or alcohol? I mean, I know you drink. You have
I
addiction
drink,
to
which
beer.
I'm trying to stop. As far as smoking, no, because my father died at 59 because he was a chain smoker.
Oh man,
Throat
yeah.
cancer got him.
I noticed. Yeah, that's and it's unfortunate. Yeah.
I want to quit drinking. I eventually will because I'll have everything I need. I'm not gonna lie. Here's the real reason why I'm drinking is because I've gone through another financial setback because I was helping too many people. Because I
Yeah,
won't say no. I refuse
you
to
were the
say no.
giving tree, and no one gave back.
No, I don't. I don't care about getting back. I'm not transactional like that.
No, but
I'm,
I get what you're saying. It's just like when you're. That's the thing. You don't expect anything from anybody, so you don't get upset when no one
Yeah.
pays it forward. But at the end of the day, it's like, when you're the giving tree, no one ever gives back to the giving tree. And like, I know you're not about that, but it wouldn't hurt either. Like that's
the good news is, I could say this, publicly, and I could tell the two of you because I know you can keep a secret. Well, not in this case, but I'm getting paid with my regular job on Thursday. Then I'm getting my disability check the following month. I get VA disability, so it's enough to take care of my bills, my finances,
That'll
and
be good.
it's great.
Yeah, man. Because
And then I get
everybody,
paid 3 times next month for my day job plus my
oh,
VA
nice.
disability check. So as long as I don't help anyone, I think you know where I'm
Look,
going
man,
with
you
this.
can't help anybody before you help yourself. And by the way, you said VA. You're a veteran.
Yes,
What did you serve?
Navy,
Navy. Holy shit.
Wow.
When?
1999 to 2003.
I
In
was about
fact,
to say, was that? I was literally just about to say, was that the late '90s or something?
99 to '03. I served. I was in basic training when Bill Clinton was still president, and I was home on leave when 9/11 happened. And of course, I was out to sea when Iraq was invaded by the U.S. because of supposed weapons of mass destruction,
No,
which were never
you were
found.
over there. You were over there.
No, I almost ended up in the Philippines because there was Al Qaeda activity going on at the time. And I remember stopping in Singapore for it was a working port, which meant that we're there to work, and if there's free time, great. If there isn't, then
Yeah.
we're on our way there, and we're basically told to turn around. Don't call us, we'll call you. And my mother, that I'm going to get a lot of heat for this, but I joined the military to get away from my family at the time and my friends because I didn't think I was getting the support structure I needed. I was just like, I need to get away.
It wasn't a healthy place for you.
No,
When the
but
military is the healthier place for you, you probably are making the right choice. Um,
in the long term, I did. But the problem was that my mom would get so stressed out and watching CNN and others. It was like, oh my god, I hope my baby boy doesn't end up going somewhere, going to a hot zone or
yeah.
anything like that. And it was like, and she told me, she's like, if you renew for another 4 years, I'm disowning you. I'm not saying it like that. It was like she was
I
scared
get what
for
you're
me.
saying. No, listen, man. Listen. Are you an only child?
No,
No. Okay. Yeah, I was an only child. That's why I wasn't allowed to go to the military. I
I was
was
the
actually
I was the youngest of three.
You did?
Yeah, at one point I got like talked into going in the army, and my mom was like, "Listen, I don't mean to be rude. You can do whatever you want, but you're all I got. Like, I don't have another one of you. Could you
No.
not?" That was like the gist of our
Yeah.
conversation. So I was like, "All right, I won't." Like, I was in ninth grade.
Aw,
I,
your
I I
mom.
was in ninth grade. The military was a long ways away anyway.
Yeah.
And to be quite honest with you, I think I just got stopped by the recruiter because he saw I looked like a total fucking derelict. Like I was like baggy pants, band logo shirt, fucking high as shit. I think they just saw that I was like an easy target. They're like, "You look like you probably won't amount to shit if you don't do this." like
Oh, come on. But no,
they were.
so I got out so I got out in '03, that September, after my term was up. And no, I did not renew because I did it for my mom because she was worried about me because we were still invading Iraq at the time. And then there was Afghanistan after 9/11 happened, which was a 20-year thing. So
Yeah. So,
I did it. I did it. I got out for her, but, you know, oh,
but I'm glad you get to collect your VA check at least. That's nice. Like,
well, it
shit.
wasn't always that way. Just to be clear. This is
No, you
all
had to fight
recently.
for that money. You had to fight for that money, right? You had to like twist arms for that money to get
No,
it. Like,
no, I was the type was like, all right, I'll file a claim. I'll pray for the best, but keep my expectations low. And next thing you know, it's like the
yeah,
fireworks
yeah,
went off in my favor.
yeah. Good for you, man. That's you deserved it. Thank you for your service. I know
Oh,
we weren't live
absolutely.
just like not too long ago.
Yeah.
You
But yeah,
know,
man, that's absolutely wild. Wow, as soon as you said VA check, I was like, you're a big guy. I can see you doing some damage out there in the battlefield. Like Chris is a large man. Like,
no, I chose the
proud of
Navy. I chose the Navy because, my recruiter at the time is like, well, you could be on the battlefield and get shot, or you could be on a ship and then just have somebody launch missiles and just float away.
you. That's an easy sell. Like that's the easiest sell. Damn, I should have went to the Navy.
Uh, Rest in peace, Wayne Grubbs. He was my recruiter. He passed away a couple years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, my friend.
I'm too, but he got
Did he
me
die?
in.
Did he die? If you don't mind me asking, did he die in battle, or he just passed away of old age, or not a thing we want to talk about? Not a problem, brother. Don't worry about it. But I'm
It,
so sorry for your loss. When
it's
you're
okay.
out there.
It was a few years ago. I don't know the exact details. That's why I don't want to say anything. I just know that it
Oh,
was
okay, yeah, no.
tragic.
Yeah.
But when you're out there, like your friend. Those people are your friends, man. Your family, man.
So the other reason is that I don't want to say the wrong thing and be called out on and be wrong and then get sued.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
wholeheartedly agree.
Understandable. Don't. Yeah.
Yeah, no, because when you're out there, like I have a bunch of friends who were in the military, and a lot of them are like, yeah, man, those people, you're only with them for a couple, sometimes you're only with them for a couple months, a couple years, and then all of a sudden it's just like, they're not there the next day because
Yeah,
it was their time,
I
That's
could.
the thing. It's just
I wish a part of me wish had gone career, but then I have to remember the timing.
no, the
Afghanistan,
timing was
Iraq.
terrible. That was no, that was the sell point. If Army was a stock and you could have sold it, I would have sold it then because yeah, everybody was getting out. But yeah,
Well,
I had friends who were like ready to go fight in the military. And did you have any of those friends? Like when 9/11 happened, a bunch of your oh wait, no, you weren't in high school.
No, I was only in like fourth
Right.
grade.
When I was in high school, I had friends who were ready to like join the military like the next day to go fight the
Wow.
terrorists.
I mean, it wasn't my greatest decision in the beginning. It was one of my lowest points at the time. But then, after my first cruise out, going out to sea, getting, developing my sea legs as it's called, is like I made a decision. It's like, you know what? I made a decision. I signed the piece of paper. I need to man up despite being 20 years old. I'm going to take this seriously. I'm going to do the best I can.
You
And
ever
I
talk
did.
to Ron about his time? Ron served too. You know that, right?
What's up?
Ron served too. You ever talk to him about that?
16 years in the Army.
Yeah, Ron was there for a minute.
And
Like
he almost went to Iraq during the Gulf War.
yeah, he almost went to a
He
lot
was
of
a
things.
decontamination. He was part of a decontamination unit. He told me all about it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, Ron's
So
a
that's two veterans. Now there was another movie you worked on, First Aid of Fear. Bud.
yeah,
He's
but
Army.
yeah, oh dude, I can tell Bud is Army just by how shaved his head is. That head is military shaved. Like that's not like yeah, I can totally tell that.
It's
Mhm.
funny. He could tell I was former military just by my I
Oh.
won't say my mere presence, but my
Yeah.
attitude on set. It was just like just everything had to be routine based. He's like, "You're former military, aren't you?" I was like, "How'd you know?"
Yeah, man. You just know when you see another of your own kind, I'd imagine in that realm.
Well, same thing I told him as I told everyone else. It's like it doesn't matter what branch you serve. We still serve together.
Yeah, man. You're all part of the same, all part of the same family.
Yes.
Yeah, man. This is definitely dope. I'm glad you got this open book podcast thing going. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And
It's a blast.
going forward, people can ask me anything they want.
Yeah, I think that's really cool that you have it like on both sides too, because that's kind of like the appeal of and I don't like using this because it's controversial. That's like the appeal of like the Joe Rogan podcast, the fact that guests will ask Joe things too, and they don't even have like a real like connection to what that person is there for. I've always been a fan of that. Same thing with like Howard Stern, like you were talking about Howard Stern, like you could ask Howard Stern anything and he'll tell you, like without a doubt, even if it's not related to what you're there for.
Even if he's embarrassed by the question, he'll still answer it anyway and not give a damn.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely.
That's the tone of the podcast I'm trying to establish with your guys' help.
Yeah, no, you're great, man. You definitely have something like very like free flowing.
Yeah, you have something special, and your personality is very like captivating.
Aw,
You being
shucks.
you being you is really good for this and you. So I'm definitely excited to see what else comes of this. And as I get more into my own little realm. There's people I want to send your way once I've felt them out to make sure everyone's like cool. Because I've introduced people to people before and just been like, all right, that didn't work out at all. Like that was a terrible idea.
Well, I do have one idea. Eventually, I'm going to be starting live streams soon. Just video game live streaming, and why not have the two of you come by one night?
I think we could do that, man. Where are you at again?
Delaware.
Delaware, right. That's not too far from you. So yeah, we might have to actually consider that, man. That'd be kind of cool. I would love to just stop over and hang
No
out.
hurry, nothing anytime soon. Just throwing it out there.
No, absolutely. When you get to that point, absolutely. I think that'd be really cool. I would love to stop by.
I just gotta get sober first.
Listen, man.
We're rooting for you, and you can do it.
You can do it, man. Only you can do it, though. Is the one thing you have to remember. We want you to do it. Only you can do it.
That is true.
We know you can do it. Like I believe in you, man. You're a cohesive person. You have a lot of things going in your favor. The world is in the palm of your hands, and you just got to keep it there.
And I know you're not just saying that either, Illsvn or Marissa. You're both serious.
Oh no, we're
we
man.
see your potential.
Look, man, I got a dad in an ash box up there who couldn't keep it together. I don't want to see you there, okay? Like, that's the best way to put it. My dad's ashes are like too.
Oh man, is that how he passed on?
Yeah, he was a alcoholic and diabetic, and in the end, he just gave up. So he just started drinking again.
You're the second YouTuber friend I have whose dad's died the same fate.
Yeah, man, he was diabetic and he just gave up, and diabetes just took his life from him because he didn't want to. He was also not the greatest person in the end, but that's not something you have to worry about. But he was just one of those people who just gave up and he let addiction win. And, now he's he should still be here today. He died at 67. He was pretty young for his age.
Yes.
So, instead of technically he is here with us today if you want to be that way about it, right? Like he's here, but he's just not with us.
I know exactly what you mean. And, my friend Lisa, who I was telling you guys about earlier, she's a spiritual medium herself. She's Wiccan. She's a witch, real life witch.
Yeah.
And
be careful messing with those people. You don't want to piss those people off.
Well, no, that's not what this is about. It's like, and I'll openly say this. I talk to my dad every time I talk to Lisa through her spiritual readings. My dad's usually there.
Yeah, that's something I don't doubt either, because there are things out there that I'm a man of science. I like what I can see, but there's some things we can't understand.
Yeah, the supernatural elements,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have to talk about that any further. So, going with my recovery, do I have your permission to just text you on Facebook Messenger going forward, just to say,
yeah, man, message me, and sometimes, like, again, I'm a sprinkler guy, so sometimes my hands are like covered in mud and I cannot.
Oh, sure.
My phone, but message me.
Well, I was talking about.
Message me too.
Well, that's what I was talking about, Marissa.
Yeah, because I actually quit drinking too. I used to be like a pretty bad alcoholic
really?
in my teenage years and in my 20s.
Yeah.
And I just recently quit drinking altogether.
How long ago?
I want to say a year and a half now.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
Talk to Alex. She's been sober for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
I heard. Yeah, that's amazing. I always love when people or they choose the sober life.
Yeah. It's important.
And my older brother's been clean for 15 or 16 years himself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad rocked out for the better part of 15 years before he finally just gave back in. And that's the hardest thing, because he was he was in his 60s, so there was what's the point? But, that's not something you need to worry about, because if you need to message me, message her. Of course, you have, Alex, who I'm sure is a big...
Well, it's a whole rogophobia thing, and I'm not making excuses. I'm just giving you legit reasons. I'm afraid to reach out.
Absolutely. So maybe I got to try and reach out to you every so often, check on your brother.
I'll reach out to you first, and I'll ask how you're doing.
Yeah, man. We'll definitely take care of you.
Anytime you want. It doesn't even have to be involving alcohol. Just be like, so what are you working on next?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
man.
What games are you playing? And then give Marissa ideas, and then have the Illsvn encourage her.
Yeah.
Get Marissa to play Friday the 13th on Nintendo.
Yeah, there we go. That'll be our punishment.
I am a 90s gamer. I'm still stuck in the 90s. The
Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis.
No,
I was a PlayStation girly.
Yeah, they didn't do Nintendo in her house. They were Sony. She plays
my favorite video game of all time is Crash Bandicoot. I love Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, I bought the remastered versions for her to try out, and she still loved them.
Those aren't out yet, are they?
No, they are. Yeah, the Crash Bandicoot remasters came
Oh,
out like
excuse me,
2
Crash
years ago.
Bandicoot. I'm sorry.
You're thinking of Gex.
Gex, yes.
Nah, I can't wait for Gex. When the Gex, like, Crash Bandicoot is to you what Gex is to me. Gex was a gecko, and he was like a wisecracking one-liner gecko.
Okay, I never
and,
heard of that one.
And his video games were parodies of pop culture. So when like pro
Okay.
wrestling was like a big deal, they would have a level where you were a pro wrestler. It was one of the most clever game series ever. I can't wait for it to come back out.
They need to make a
Yeah.
fourth Gex, honestly.
Yeah, they do. I think it's more than enough time to make a fourth Gex. That's what these remasters are supposedly what they feel for. If there's enough fan base for a new one.
Yeah. the
So,
Crash
Marissa,
Bandicoot-
you're a PlayStation, generation type gal. Resident
Yeah.
Evil, Silent Hill.
I played Silent Hill, not Resident Evil, but Silent Hill was that game used to scare me when I was younger. Oh
Excuse
my
me.
god, I was terrified.
Yo, did you see that they just announced the remake? They're remaking the first Silent Hill. There's a
Yes.
new Resident Evil coming out, and Silent Hill F.
Yes.
Horror fans are gonna eat. Let me tell you, man.
They're gonna eat that up.
They're
Yeah,
gonna
man.
they're gonna eat.
Silent Hill F looks terrifying.
Wait a minute. That's not the only game people are gonna eat up. What about Resident Evil 9?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Resident Evil 9 Requiem. That's really cool. It takes place in Raccoon City after the nuke in part 2.
Yeah, right after the mushroom cloud went up.
And Lady D has something to do with it?
Lady Dimitrescu?
Yeah.
No.
I heard she had something to do with it. No, okay.
No,
Sounds
you're.
like
It was a character from the Outbreak series, Resident Evil Outbreak.
that pronunciation. I'm sorry, say that again.
Resident Evil Outbreak.
What about that one? I'm sorry.
Well, one of the surviving characters from Resident Evil Outbreak, her daughter is one of the characters in the game you play in Resident Evil 9.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if she's the
I-
main character or not. Remains to be seen. I'm not gonna.
After Resident Evil 4, I didn't do 5 or 6. I liked 7. 7 was actually fucking brilliant, and 8 was great too. 8 was a lot of fun.
Let's see. I'll save you the trouble. 5 should have been the ultimate conclusion because it wrapped everything up. Everything that you
Okay.
play it, see for yourself from a story arc. Everything was tied up. You didn't need a sequel. It was like, okay, well that's it. It's over. Skip 6. Go to 7. That's what. That's
7 I played. I loved 7.
I love 7.
That was a fucked up game.
I loved it. I love
don't know
7.
anything about Resident Evil.
Listen, man, it's a fucked up game series. It has its ups and downs.
Talk to me about Crash Bandicoot, Spyro.
She was a Spyro girl too. Did you
Yeah.
play Croc, Legend of the Gobos, the little green guy that jumped
No.
around? Oh, okay.
I haven't either, but I know of it.
Yeah, Croc was a fun one. They remade that too. I like how they remade, and then they remade Tony Hawk. That was a solid move too.
Oh yeah, they're always fun. Spider-Man was
Yeah.
also fun on PlayStation.
Yes, Spider-Man was fun. The new Spider-Man is fantastic.
It is.
I
It
love
is.
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
What-
man.
Marissa,
That's
play
good.
Spider-Man on the PlayStation 1. You will be entertained for hours.
Okay.
If I entertain, you'll cry.
It's
I'll put it on my
just fun.
It's for its time, it was such a big deal.
It was.
It was like, holy shit, a 3D Spider-Man game. Like we never saw that before.
I'm trying to think of
The
any
90s were a
others.
time to be alive.
The 90s really were a time to be alive. Oh my god.
I miss everything. I miss the snacks. I miss not knowing that everything I was eating was ruining me. Like, I just, like
Well, one last thing before we wrap up. Remember Surge the soda?
oh my god, Surge, yeah, the energy soda, like
Yeah.
basically Monster before Monster.
I remember Surge.
It was
Yeah.
basically Pepsi's
Hugs?
version of Mountain Dew. No, or Coke's
Oh my
version of
God.
Mountain Dew.
Do you remember Hugs?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
drinks,
Yeah, the
the
drinks.
kids' drinks.
They were like shaped like barrels.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
you, like, poke
oh
the
my
top.
god, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
The,
god,
the
yeah,
plastic,
yeah,
the paper was on the wrapper was on the
yeah,
top.
yeah,
and
the metal
you-
wrapper, yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, I used to love the blue one, the red and the blue. were
Oh my god, yeah,
favorites.
and they got because they were just basically flavored water. They got so cold in the fridge because the water was so thin.
Oh,
It was
yeah,
just-
yeah.
It was drinking literally sugar.
yeah. It
like,
was just liquid candy.
I'm
Oh.
like, I literally poisoned my body when I was younger. Like, what?
Oh,
Kool-Aid.
man, hugs.
Kool-Aid.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh man, what about Twisted? Do you guys remember the squeeze things? You would like twist the top off and squeeze it and drink it.
I
Yep.
remember that.
Oh man, it was good. Yeah, it was like it had like an animated commercial.
I remember Dunkaroos.
I remember those too.
Dude, there's a place by me, Burger 25, that makes a Dunkaroo shake
Ah.
once a year. They make it 1 month. Dude, I bought it once. It tasted exactly like Dunkaroos and ice
Yeah.
cream in a cup. It was,
What was it?
I used to love Lunchables.
Well, in the 90s, there was a special type of Doritos called Jumpin' Jack Cheese.
Yes. Remember the Doritos 3D, the hollow
Yep,
Dorito?
yep.
That was so
And there was a
good.
commercial for it too. And it had this beautiful actress, and it's like flicking them like a coin, catching her in the
Yeah, I remember this. Oh my god, you're right.
ouchie, wow, wow.
Back in the day, the '90s advertising was wild. Oh man.
No
Oh,
joke.
Ultimate 90s advertising, Herbal Essence shampoo.
Basic porn commercial.
Yes!
Basic. That was like the Victoria's
Yes!
Secret
That-
catalog.
that's what the guy did. It was like, ooh, yes!
Yeah, the one where he's like screaming and like she's having the shower and like having like a hair orgasm. I was like, as I got older, I realized maybe she was just washing her hair on ecstasy because that's pretty much what it feels like when you're on.
No. When I was serving in the Navy, I used to buy Herbal Essence because of those commercials, and my friends would be like, "What the hell?" They're like, "You don't remember the commercials? It's basically orgasm shampoo." And then next thing you know, they started buying.
It's like, well, listen, we're in the Navy. We need whatever we can get out here.
It's like, wow, this sounds interesting. I want some orgasm shampoo.
It's like you're an idiot geezer because that's what some of my friends called me.
It's funny. Looking at your last name, I completely understood the name of your podcast.
See?
Like, it didn't.
It's just a play on my name. That's all it is. I came up with it when I was 14.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's great. Brother.
Well, remember Crazy Eddie from back in the early 80s?
Oh, Crazy Eddie. That's just Jimmy J now. But yeah.
It really is.
That Crazy Eddie back in the day was he was actually really crazy too. Didn't he get like in mega trouble for something like money laundering or something?
Yes.
Like he was really like a fucking
Just
like
going back to the first accountant movie, just watch it and there's a reference to Crazy Eddie.
that's incredible.
That's how I remember them. It's like, oh, I remember those commercials because it was in the intro of Howard the Duck. Very similar.
Oh my god. Howard the Duck. That's a superhero movie that needs to get remade.
Properly,
yes.
I mean, people trashed the first one, but it's like it's great for what it was, especially as a kid.
Oh, dude, that was peak cinema for that era. Yeah, Howard the Duck.
It's like you want to remake it, go remake it. It's okay.
Yeah, they'll make the money.
The remakes need to be done right, though.
Said the girl who likes Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm just kidding. It was good. All right, I'll give you that. It wasn't that bad at all. After I rewatched it with you,
You said you liked it.
I did. I'm not gonna lie.
It's like if you like a movie I don't like, then I'm not gonna bust your chops. That's just not who I am. It's just like maybe there's a reason why you like it more than I do, and now I'm curious to know.
Yeah, most of the movies I like, other people don't like. So
you do like a lot of the offbeat movies, like, and I like that about you. I was like, all right, cool.
Well, I want you guys to watch a movie tonight. If you two are hanging out tonight, it's called Stay Alive.
Okay.
It's basically a video game that can kill you.
I feel like
Stay Alive.
I feel like I might have watched this before. Is there a death involving syringes at the end?
Syringes? I don't
Like
recall.
heroin
I will say this though. Remember Frankie Muniz from Malcolm in the Middle?
Yes.
He's in it.
No, I haven't seen this.
Never seen it.
I think the two of you get a kick out of this. Seriously, it's one of my favorites.
I say let's watch it tonight.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, we're looking. We're hanging out tonight. I'm staying until tomorrow, but yeah, we're always like watching movies and stuff together. So.
Watch this movie. Let me know either tonight or tomorrow what you guys think, and we'll go from there.
All right, man, definitely.
For sure.
But we're gonna head on out actually now.
Yeah.
If that's all right with you, brother. We're gonna go hit the boardwalk real quick, and we will absolutely. Looking forward to this episode. All right, my dude.
Yeah, can't wait till it gets edited. This has been so much fun.
It's gonna be released tonight.
Yeah, Chris works fast.
Wow.
I have a system.
Yeah, Chris understands the assignment.
You understand the assignment. All right, I can't wait.
All right, my dude. Thanks for having us over, and thanks for having me again. All right.
Oh, absolute pleasure, and thank you both for allowing me to text you after the fact regarding what we discussed previously. I really appreciate it.
Oh,
of course.
Got you, man. Don't worry about it.
All right. Well, you guys have fun, and it's Saturday night, and I'm gonna get some work done too.
All right, man. Take care. All right. Have a good night.
Bye.
Take care, guys.
Bye.